Hey everyone, this is Dan and the Future Holds Crypto. So, I'm glad to be back. As you can see now, we have a very interesting and green market. Um, you know that when this dip, well, the big dip since April started, and we had a few discussions on the channel, I mentioned that I do not believe this was the top of the cycle, because in previous videos we discussed about the cycles and how I think the cycles are related to the Bitcoin halving events, and how in the past this drove the entire market. Um, and we were actually discussing from the beginning the fact that you can see here, this actually at one point started to look a little bit closer to the 2013 cycle, not the 2017 cycle. So if you see here in the 2013 cycle, we had two, let's say, bull runs within the cycle and the mini bear market in between, if you call it that, because it was also a very big drop, I believe, more than 75%. But definitely something similar, and it started to look like that, and we consider that this is actually a possibility. The fact is that we were also looking at this very strong indicator for this is basically a very good indicator for greed. As you can see here in the blue part here is considered to be euphoria or greed. The green is belief, denial. This is optimism, hope, fear, capitulation. So basically, in the past, whenever Bitcoin got into the blue area, it showed a top, and if you see here, even the beginning of Bitcoin, whenever it got here, you see a big drawback. Second time, big drawback. Third time, big drawback. Here as well, big drawback, and of course 2017 cycle, big drawback. I think at that point I kind of missed the point that we were actually nearing a top here, because historically speaking I was looking for the blue area, but if you see here, the peaks are becoming smaller and smaller, and also this is, I think it's a combination of how the 2017 and 2013 looks like, because if you see here, basically this is the first, let's say, first top that we had in June, compared to this one that basically we had in or May, right, or April, and we reached the very same level we reached here, and then we had a drawback. The difference is that we didn't stop like in 2013 with a big period of reaccumulation or mini bear market, let's say, when we continue to put higher highs. So this is why I'm saying it's kind of a combination between the two. So it's very interesting to see how and what will happen next, because the good part here is that we are almost to the previous all-time high, very near it, but we have some room to grow until we actually reach this delimitator 0.75 that basically puts us in euphoria or greed. I think that historically speaking, the second peak would be a little bit bigger than the first. So probably this time we'll get a little bit overextended into the blue, or come very close to the blue again. So this is an indicator that we're going to watch to see where we are basically nearing the top. We also see here that we had, if you look at the indicators, you can put a P cycle top, and you see here that it pretty much nailed it in the head. We also discussed at one point that I don't believe that this is that was the top, especially at this point right here, and that was basically when I saw this formation happening around, let's say, 4th of July, not actually, no, around 20th of July, when it started to change. We this hash ribbon indicator started to show like it will go into a blue buy zone, and historically speaking, this hasn't ever happened at the top of the cycle. As you can see here, after the top, we never had a buy zone until we reached this area, and this was very good because the buy zone prepared us for a very big run in June 2019. So you can see that basically when I saw this, I already started to have even more confidence in the theory that we will have two bull runs within the same cycle, let's say. So this again has proven to be a very good indicator, as you can see here. Also, what I was looking at, historically speaking, as you can see here, in the previous stop, we in the fib retracement, we didn't manage to point to close well above 0.72, 702. So in this time we managed to break both 0.72, 702 and 786, and this is great because usually these are if you don't pass this, it's usually an indicator that it is a dead cat bounce. And as you can see here, where we basically went through all the retracements, where we just have to hit this one, and basically we will be into price discovery, but we don't have a lot of resistance left over here. We're very close to it, and it will be interesting to see how it evolves. But this is the good news, that the dead cat bounce theory, I think, has been invalidated. So all the bears that were tweeting and very, saying, I told you this is the bear market, blah, blah, I think those theories are invalidated. Of course, I always had this as a possibility in my head, because I like to be, let's say, kind of prepared, at least emotionally, because this investment thingy is actually I think that from what I've learned in the past few years, because I don't have a lot of experience, I'm just a guy on the internet sharing my experience, is that the hardest part is to actually control your emotions. And this is basically what I'm trying to do. This is why I keep informed. I'm looking at stuff like this. I learned a little bit of TA and to make myself to have different theories or different possibilities in my head to be prepared for it. So basically at this point, I think that cat bounce was clearly invalidated. So this is the beginning of the last part of the cycle, in my opinion. History doesn't repeat itself, right? For example, the first time we had 3 peaks, second time we had 2, third time we only had 1. Maybe this time, but definitely I think we'll have at least 2, maybe we'll have 3. However, that we at one point, the last video, I thought that basically in August or beginning of September we were heading into another alt season, which to some degree it was true, because we had some runs for a few big altcoins like Cardano, which basically went to be a new all-time high, Solana, which also did an all-time high, and another few, but I knew that historically speaking, Bitcoin hasn't a very good performance in September, and as you can see here, usually this September are bad for Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin falls, usually the other coins fall. So I thought maybe this time is different, but of course it wasn't. So it's very important to understand that we will need to take profits, and if this is the second and all the last remaining part of the bull market, it's very important for you to make a strategy of the exit from your position. So this is something that depends from each and every one of you. And one of the things that you have to think of is realistic price points. And I mean, if you have very few coins because you haven't invested a lot, and you want to have $1 million at the end, you have to be realistic. Maybe you don't expect the coin to go to such a big price that compensates the fact that you have very little, so you can make $1 million. Probably, and most likely it won't happen. So that's why that we talked about in the past, that it's very important to have a strategy for entering, and the best strategies is to basically kind of a dollar cost average, or pick very good points in time to enter, but gradually, not with all your money from the beginning, because usually you will see that nobody can time the market, neither the tops or bottoms. So that's why kind of a dollar cost average is a better solution. But if you entered gradually, you also have to exit gradually, right? So have some price points from your coins or positions to exit. The good part here is that the market kind of behaves similarly from in the past. So if you look here, actually, I tweeted this a few days ago on 12th of October. And by the way, look at my Twitter account. I'm going to also link it below. I'm very active there. And I tweeted something in a similar period in time, and what the Bitcoin was doing when it started to rally in October, because historically speaking September was bad, and you can see that while Bitcoin started to rally, altcoins were actually going down. And this is the first step, because when Bitcoin takes the stage, usually the others get off the stage for a while. I mean, I'm talking about altcoins. And you can see here 73 upside, altcoins went down 60%. Here when Bitcoin went up 64, altcoins went down 17%. This is actually altcoins. This is basically XRP, Ethereum, Cardano, and last is Solana, but it doesn't matter. But this is Bitcoin, this is XRP, no, this is actually, this is XRP here, this is Cardano here, and this is Ethereum. So while this is basically that this is Ethereum, so when Bitcoin went up 64%, Ethereum went down 17%, XRP went down 38%, and the Cardano went down 32%. And this time when Bitcoin rallied up 74%, basically Ethereum went down 10%, Cardano 34%, XRP 34, sorry, and Cardano 38. So basically, this is important to see that we have a little bit of a breather in the altcoins while Bitcoin starts the move. And also, I have this chart over here. Historically, let's look at history. And actually, we can go back even to 2013, when basically it's, of course, September. You can see here, Bitcoin went down a little bit, then afterwards it started to rally up. What did it do when Bitcoin? What did the alts do when? This is the altcoin chart, the total altcoin market cap, and this is the Bitcoin one. And basically, when Bitcoin started to rally up, as you can see here, altcoin had a small dip. Small depends. It's actually not very small, it's 40%. Then, as you can see here, at one point when Bitcoin made its first mini correction, altcoins actually started to rally, and when they did very well. Again here, in 2017, as you can see here, let me delete this so we can have a clear one. When Bitcoin started to rally up here on the 12th of October, the altcoins had a small dip again, 17%. And then when Bitcoin had its first correction, bam, altcoins started to explode, and it exploded very nicely. And you can see here, Bitcoin rallied up. This time altcoins are not very far below, actually. This is why I'm saying that it's a very interesting combination. But they are a little bit below. And as you can see, some alts are actually quite lagging. Some others are doing very well. But in general, some are lagging. And you can see that. You can see also here, because Bitcoin rallied up 50%. And altcoins rallied up only 22%, right? So what I'm saying is that we have a little bit of a breather. I know that if you look at maybe you're in some altcoins that are lagging, like Cardano, for example. Of course, XRP is a different matter, but even the others the big ones are lagging, right? They are considerably lagging compared to Bitcoin, with a few exceptions, like Polkadot. But I think it might be the last time or the last few days or weeks before altcoins started to follow Bitcoin very well, and will explode even further. Now, what's very important to understand here, again, this market has rallied up a lot. Bitcoin has done 20x, altcoins have done 25x in total, right? All of the altcoin market cap. So it will be interesting to see how much it goes. So we'll be looking at the a few indicators that I showed you before. But usually the last part of the remaining cycle is a little bit more riskier than starting from here, for example, right? So that's what's very important, to have realistic expectations and have an exit strategy, not to remain with your bags at the end of the cycle, and go through all of the pain as like of very painful corrections, right? So like that cat bounce, and when you're in bouncing, you believe that it'll go even higher and stuff like that. I mean, this is not don't disregard the prices here, but the emotional ride won't be very, very fun when this is ending. Of course, we'll have interesting news on the market. I suspect that when everything will be bullish, it might be a very good time to sell. Especially, I'm not sure when the Bitcoin ETF will be launched, because I heard news that it's very close to being approved. But it will be an interesting indicator, because the last time when futures ETF was launched, it was exactly here when we started the bear market. So keep that in mind. Also, a few other things that can happen here. I mean, I think Bitcoin is safe to go further away to complete the cycle. It will be interesting to see with the SEC and what they will do with the altcoins, because as you can see, the new SEC chair considered that most of the crypto out there are securities, but hopefully I think that they will be slower and we will have time to the end of the year to complete the cycle. But it is not necessarily impossible for next year to have a very important, the start of the bear market, and one of the reasons might be regulations for altcoins. But let's see how it goes. I think that we still have the final leg up. And good luck to everyone. Now in terms of price expectations, something else that I wanted to show you. This is the September correction, right? So what did it do the last time? The last time, as you can see, Bitcoin reached the 6.4. By the way, I discovered something very interesting. Probably a lot of people know it, but you can add Fibonacci extensions well beyond the 4236, and yeah, I know that usually the big investors and for corporations, not corporations, but investors are usually looking at in the institutions that invest are looking at the Fibonacci extensions up to 4236. But this is not the stock market, and the exponential growth that we had so far on crypto was not enough from my perspective, because when it started to grow, it went much beyond 4236. And as you can see here, and by the way, the smaller the market cap is, the more probable is to hit bigger extensions of Fibonacci. So probably with Bitcoin, because it's already very big, 1 trillion market cap, we will not have necessarily hitting very big extensions this time, but with smaller ones, we can definitely look at it. And if you see here, for example, altcoins reached the 11.09 extensions, Bitcoin the 6.50884, and maybe this is something that we can look at, because, for example, with Bitcoin we have this. I don't think it will reach this high, and let me go to the Bitcoin chart, because this is that was the market cap, not the price. But I think from my perspective, this is the first target that we should look at to take some profit if you're in Bitcoin. This is the second. Maybe we reach this one. Some think that it will reach somewhere near here, but I don't think it will happen. So in my perspective, this probably will be the maximum number that we can hit, or even a little bit lower at the 165, or in between, right? So we'll have to watch this, but this is for Bitcoin. For Cardano, it will be interesting from September. If we, historically speaking, so for example, the total altcoin market cap reached the 11 extension. I mean, it will definitely be interesting and not impossible, depending on how much the other will grow. But yeah, that would be this one would be something like, let's say, I think this one is too much. I think this is slightly possible. Is it probable? I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how probable, but definitely I think this can be reached. I'm not saying to wait until then. Maybe we should, of course, depending on your strategy, but you can look at this as well, or this one. So even this one. Take some profits along the way. So let's say you truly believe it will reach this one. Take 10% here, 20% here, 30 here, and stuff like that. So yeah, let's, what other coin? I mean, XRP, you know that I'm a fan of XRP, but with XRP and the lawsuit, it will be interesting to see how it evolves, because this is basically what is suppressing the price, because XRP is the single market cap from the single top 10 currency that hasn't actually retraced to its former top from 2018 or 17. So this, I believe that the SEC lawsuit is at hand here, and if I look at this part, I mean, yeah, this would be, I would say, possible. It will be very hard to reach there, though. I think this is much achievable at this point, depending on how the lawsuit goes. And I think this is very important, by the way, for the whole market, because how the Ripple lawsuit, the SEC lawsuit ends, it will be very important to see how the other crypto will be treated. And as I told you before, it will be interesting to see how it evolves with the SEC, and how if Congress steps in to clarify this. But it's a mess over there. Anyway, this would be achievable, I would say, the list. I'd say this is a good target for XRP, around, let's say, between this one, and might be overextended to this, hopefully. But it's very much dependent. I think with XRP and the lawsuit, it's kind of a situation where it's kind of risky for this cycle, at least. I think that XRP will be doing great at one point, maybe even in the bear market, if they release the products and the utility kicks in. But it's it never happened before, so I would be careful with that assumption. But definitely, I think that between this and this, it would be it would be possible to have an extension here. With XRP, is kind of in this bull run, it's kind of go home or win big, at least in the remaining part. Because of course you can see here, because of this suppressed price, there were better options in this bull cycle than XRP. But Don't forget that even in the last cycles, XRP was a big lagger, as you can even see here. When XRP started to move, it was the Bitcoin was already moving for a while now. So I think that this is the video for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. By the way, please hit the like button and subscribe. And also don't forget to subscribe to my Twitter, because that's where I'm considerably more active, as I have more time to do a share or a tweet on my thoughts. So thank you very much for watching this, and by the way, good luck with the last part of the bull run. Bye. Oh, it's me again. I forgot to mention something about the price targets, especially for Bitcoin. I'm gonna add this. This is the last part of the video over the last part. If you, of course, most of the people in crypto know Plan B, the creator of the stock to flow model, which Bitcoin followed very nicely until now. This guy made a prediction, not prediction, some calculations. In actually, it was June 2021, when Bitcoin was 34k at that point, so it already dropped a lot, right? And what does he say? A worst case scenario for 2021: August 47k, September 43k, October 63k, November 98, December 135. What I'm saying is that this is also something what I'm watching with the other indicator that I showed you earlier, because this guy is amazing in terms of August and September were spot on. This is exactly the monthly close for both August and September. And he tweeted this in June. And as you can see here, October is already 62k as we speak. Right, it's almost 63, so it will be interesting to see how the monthly close of this month will be. But so far so good, right? So these targets are very interesting to look at in combination with the other indicators. But this guy is amazing, and definitely something to consider. So this time I'm really out. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Bye.